Hey, I'm Jay from the Kubz. Welcome back to another episode of reacting to these true animations. Like, come on, we all know they're not true. They can't possibly be true. Like, look at this. Allergic to tears?
Bruh.
How are you allergic to tears? That makes me want to cry. Allergic to sun.
What?
That means you can't even exist. You need sun. You need that vitamin D, you know what I'm saying? This one actually makes sense. Like, I fell in love with my bully. That could make some sense. How I made $50 million at age 15. Get out of here, boy. Get out of here. My evil stepmom, I could believe that. I got triplets at 14. That's not impossible. And there's stories like I lived like a pig and my baby was switched at birth. Those are kind of believable, but the allergic to the sun one, allergic to touch, like, come on, man. We're gonna check some more right now. We're gonna see what's true or not. If you guys are cool with that and you're down with that, everybody get ready and buckle up, because here we go. First one we're gonna check out is called I'm Allergic to Touch, because that one actually made me curious, because if you're allergic to touch, that means you can't even put on clothes, you can't even let the water touch you. There's so many things that touch your skin, so let's see what this is all about. And it better not be a love story.
Hey, I'm Christine, and my classmates have always been scared of me. It's not because I'm a bully, but it's because of my skin disease. My body parts are often swollen and covered in bruises. That's why many kids called me the Blue Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That's messed up.
The only person who defended me was Paul.
No,
He didn't mind
not
how I
another
looked.
love story!
And that's why he asked me to become his girlfriend.
No!
Of course I said yes.
Paul, don't do
There
it!
was one problem. His parents. When they saw my skin all swollen and blue, they thought I was a freak and asked, "What's wrong with you?"
They
I
asked
said I have
that?
skin disease called
kind of
chronic
parents are those?
idiopathic hives, and whenever someone or something touches me, I'll have an allergic-like reaction to it. But
He's
don't
touching
worry,
you
it's
right
not
now.
contagious. His mom responded, "My son won't date a freak like you. He deserves a pretty girl that won't embarrass him in public." Her words hit me like a
Excuse
slap
him,
in the
what?
face.
Excusez-moi,
But
mon
Paul
chéri?
came to my defense and screamed, "Mom, you're so fat. Why don't you care about your own problems first?"
Oh, did he say you're so fat? Oh, jeez, dude. I mean, girlfriends come and go, but you only have one mom. Why are you gonna call her a little porky, huh? You gonna call her a little porky pie? What's wrong with you, Paul? If you're gonna treat your mom like that, then you're definitely gonna treat your girlfriend like that. So this girl should have ran. She should have been like, oh, dang, he roasting her? So that's just a matter of time before he roasts me.
When we got into Paul's room, he said, "I don't care about my parents' opinion. I love you, and that's all that matters." And of course, I loved Paul back.
Wait. He's touching her face. Shouldn't she be, like, busting out in, like, bruises and hives? What's going on here? Come on, consistency, people.
But the next time his mom saw me, she asked, "If you have kids, will they look as monstrous as you?" Then she put her finger on my forehead and pushed me back.
Ooh.
A few minutes later, I was left with a small bruise that stayed for several days. Of course, I was too scared to go back to Paul's home. Instead, we started seeing each other inside a
Forest
forest next
school.
to our school.
The
There
heck
we
is
had
that?
total privacy and could do whatever we wanted. We often kissed so much that my lips turned blue.
Is
And
that
one
right?
time, he pressed his hand against my breast with so much force that it turned into one big blue bruise for the next 2
Okay, I
weeks.
can't be showing that on the
We were as
screen.
happy as one could be, until Paul told me that his parents were sending him away to live with his aunt in a different state.
Okay, I'm sorry, but who freaking cares about all this stuff? How come all the people who are allergic to things, why are they so freaking horny that they always have these grand dating stories? Like, what in the world is going on here? Just tell me about you being a freak, you can't be touched, and there you go. End of story. I don't care about Paul. I don't care about his fat ass mom. I don't care about her fat ass dad. I don't care about anything.
My heart broke into a million pieces. I've been so sure we would stay together forever. But that was just a teenage dream.
Forever.
Paul said, "You know I love you. I always will. But it's
I like
not
how her
worth
face
it.
bruised when he touched
My
it.
parents make my life hell because I'm dating you. And it's better if we just break up." I responded, "It's okay, and I hope you will be happy in your new life." I tried to not look sad because I didn't want to make it harder for him. But after he said goodbye, I sat down under a tree and cried late into the night. I knew if it wasn't for my skin disease, Paul and I would have stayed a couple. But life isn't always
Debatable, I don't know.
fair.
You could have had a shitty
And after Paul
personality.
was gone, the other kids in school started making fun of me again. I was so happy when I finally graduated. I wanted to start all over, and that's why I moved to New York.
And then the New Yorkers
There I
started
studied
making fun of you?
economics for 3 years and even dated a new guy. But whenever my skin had a strong allergic reaction, I could see the disgust in his face. One night we slept next to each other, and while I was sleeping,
What in the
he
world?
wrote his name into
Dude,
my
turn
skin
into the
with
Joker.
his fingernail. It wasn't long before it was swollen so much that I woke up. I wanted to scream when I looked into a mirror and saw what he'd done. He thought it was funny, but I didn't. So I broke up with him and tried to focus more on college.
Right.
But studying was never easy. Some days my body was completely covered in hives, bruises, and swellings. They were itching so much that all I could do was lie in bed and cry. I barely graduated,
Gosh,
but
stop
still
being a
managed to
freaking
get a job
crybaby.
at an investment bank. It paid $40,000 a year, which wasn't much, but barely enough for New York. Unfortunately, my skin disease got so bad that I couldn't go to work anymore and got fired.
You know what? I will say, though, that out of all the allergic stories, this one has mentioned her allergy a lot more than the other ones. So I will give it a 1-finger clap this time. Not a 2-finger, not a 3-finger, just a little 1-finger.
That was the darkest moment of my life. My skin was hurting like hell, and I'd lost my job. I was about to give up on life, so instead of finding a new job, I moved into a homeless shelter. All I did was lie in bed, depressed and scratching my skin.
Where are your family
Finally,
at?
I wondered,
Or where
is
is
there
your family?
anything I want to do before I die? The answer was yes. I wanted to see Paul one last time. I wanted to see if he was happy.
Really?
So I tracked him
What?
down and
Paul's
found
not
out
even
that he was
anything
working
special.
for
Was he
a
hung like a
consultancy
horse?
firm in Washington. Then I took a bus and went to surprise him.
Girl, you
Of course,
crazy.
I was nervous about meeting him again. He'd done well in life, but I'd failed at everything. I was afraid of his judgment, but I was also desperate to see him again. So I waited in
Why
front
do
of his
people
office
go back
building.
to the things that hurt them the
When
most?
he came out and
I
saw
don't
me,
understand.
he cried, "Oh my God, Christine! It's so nice to see you. How are you doing?" I said, "I'm good. I just wanted to catch up with an old friend." He said, "Sure," and we went to a restaurant. There
Okay.
he told me about his job and how he had to work 80 hours a
80
week.
hours a week?
But when he asked me how I was doing, I blushed and looked away. He said, "Come on, I'm your friend. You can tell me anything." So I told him how I got fired and lived in a homeless shelter because of my skin condition. I even told him I was depressed and rarely got out of bed. He said, "I'm really sorry. I'd let you live at my place, but I have a girlfriend and she wouldn't like it."
Well,
My heart dropped,
guess you're
but
taking
I
the
played
bus
it
back.
cool and said,
Take a
"No
hike,
problem.
weirdo."
I'll just move back in with my parents." When we said goodbye to each other, I had tears in my eyes. It was so nice to
Yo,
see
stop
Paul
being
again.
such a little crybaby bitch.
I still loved him as
Go
much
home.
as the day we broke up.
Go to your family.
In another life, we would have gotten married and lived happily ever
Nah,
after.
that never would have happened. Cut
But
that.
that wasn't my destiny.
Cut that.
I ended up moving back into my mom's home. Her and Dad had just gotten divorced, and she was happy to have some company. But just a few days later, I got a message from Paul that said, "Hey, Christine, when I saw you last week, all my feelings for you came back.
Nice.
I can't stop thinking about you. I just broke up with my girlfriend,
Oh,
and
cool.
I'd
Here, I'll
love you
give
to
some
come back
fist
to
pumps for you.
Washington.
Yeah.
You can
Great.
move in here right
Happily
now."
ever after. Woohoo.
Wow, my head spun around. It felt like a gift from God. A little hope in a hopeless life. I immediately drove back to Washington, and when I
Whipped.
saw Paul,
Whoosh.
we gently fell into each other's arms, kissing
Oh, no,
passionately
no, no, no,
for
no, no.
ages.
Give me those rashes, baby.
It felt like we were teenagers again, making out in the forest while we hid from his parents. Life was good again.
Life
I
was
felt
good again. You spying
motivated
on
and
people?
Found another job, but my chronic idiopathic hives flared up.
What the heck? Not only does she have rashes, she has Ninja Turtle fingers. She only has 4 fingers? What's wrong with you, you sick
Chronic
freak?
idiopathic hives flared up again, and the pain kept me awake at night, so I barely ever got any sleep. When I got fired from my job again, I felt so
She
ashamed.
got fired again?
But
Yo,
Paul
this
said,
girl's a capital
"Don't
D
worry,
dumbass.
it's not your fault, and I'm making enough money to take care of both of us."
How do you get fired from 2
Well,
jobs?
That was our life for the next
the
2
skin ain't gonna
years.
make you dumb.
I stayed at home doing nothing, while Paul worked long hours. But then I got pregnant
course
and
you did.
everything changed. At first, Paul was super happy and screamed, "We're going to be parents! This is the best day ever!" But I wasn't sure. I felt like Paul deserved someone better than me. Even though
Don't
he seemed
think
happy,
that.
I felt I was holding him back. And the next day, Paul went on his knees in front of me and got out an engagement ring. He said, "Christine, will you marry me?" I started crying and said, "I
Crying
can't.
again.
You deserve someone better than me. I'm a mess." He responded, "I don't care. I love you, and I don't want any other girl."
Okay, you know what? I will say that Paul's actually a stand-up guy. I mean, I know he's on his knee right now, but he's a stand-up guy. I kind of like his attitude. He don't care what she has, what she doesn't have. He dropped down on one knee, got his eagle on a little bit, twerked his Paul ass, and he proposed to her. So I respect that.
So in the end, I agreed and said, "Yes, I want to marry you." But then came the hard part. We had to tell his parents about our
Ooh, I
engagement.
forgot about those bitches.
He called them up and said, "Hey, you remember the girl I was dating in high school?"
Oh yeah, is she
His mom
dead?
responded, The freak with the skin problems?
freak with the skin
Paul
problems.
said, yeah.
Yeah, he
I just wanted to
said,
tell you
yeah,
that
that's
we're
gonna be
engaged
your
now."
wife-to-be, bro.
His mom was quiet for a
You
few
gotta
seconds.
defend her.
But then she started
You
crying
have to defend
and
her
screamed,
honor
No,
with a sword.
no, you deserve better than her. Wow, she really hated me. But Paul still arranged a dinner for us and his parents. Maybe we could work things out. His parents still didn't know I was pregnant. We wanted to tell them over dinner. But before we could say anything, his mom said, I have a surprise for you, Paul. And then a really gorgeous girl sat down at our table.
She brought this girl?
Paul's mom said, This is Georgina. I want to ask her something. Georgina, do you think my son Paul is attractive? Georgina responded,
No.
Yes. Then his mom asked, Would you date my son? And she said, Yes, I would love to date him. Tears were running down my cheeks.
Wait, you know what, Georgina? How dare you? How double doggy style dare you? That is clearly his girlfriend next to him, and you're just openly answering all those questions? She better be a paid actress or else she is scum!
Georgina was so beautiful, I felt unworthy compared to her. But Paul got annoyed and asked Georgina to leave. Then he turned to his mom and said, You are absolutely disgusting. Instead of welcoming my fiancé into our family,
Good
you're
job,
hurting
Paul.
her.
You tell her.
How dare you? She's
you tell
pregnant.
her fat ass.
You're going to be a grandmother. That's when his mom turned to me and screamed, What have you done to my boy? Your child will be a monster just like you! But Paul had enough. He said, Don't worry. You will never meet your grandchild. And this is also the last time you will see me.
Ooh.
He stormed out and I
Paul
followed him.
grew some big, hairy,
When we
blonde
got
nuts.
home, I told Paul how sorry I
I
was.
dig.
I said,
I
I'm
like.
causing so much trouble in your life. This is your last chance to leave me. If you want another girl, just tell me. I will understand.
Oh my God, shut
But
up,
Paul
girl.
responded, I love you, and I will always love you. Then he gave me a soft kiss on my lips.
Like, he keeps reassuring her that she's the one for him, and she keeps saying no. I mean, I get it because she has her insecurities, she has her problems and all that. But Paul is reassuring you. He's letting you know, me gusta, baby, me gusta.
Of course, that's what every girl wants to hear.
Yeah.
But we
See?
soon learned that love
I'm a girl.
isn't
That's what I'd
always
love to
enough.
hear.
Because after I gave birth to our
Ooh,
daughter,
wah.
Olivia, the problem started. I was
What?
supposed to take care of her. But due to my depression, I couldn't get out of bed.
Oh, she has
So
depression.
when I heard Olivia
Duh.
crying from another room, I didn't go check for her. Paul didn't realize how terrible of a mother I was, until one day, he came home from work and found our baby screaming on the ground with marks all over her face.
Oh, what the heck? Head rolling down the stairs! This shit just took a weird turn! Why is there a crying head going down the stairs? Do I want to know what happens next? Guys, girls, cover your ears, cover your eyes. There's a head rolling down the stairs. No body in sight. I mean, she said that one day he came home and then all of a sudden a head's rolling down the stairs. What is this?
Probably fell down the stairs, and this was the first time I'd seen Paul angry at me.
Okay, it was
She
just for
screamed,
dramatic effect.
You are a terrible mother. And, of course, he was
Okay.
right. But I was so depressed. I didn't even respond to him.
That made the heart beat.
Right now, all I do is watch
That made the heart
YouTube
jump.
and hope that my skin condition will get better someday. The pain is unbearable and ruining my life.
Oh, that was it? It ended like that? The pain is unbearable and it's ruining my life, and then bam, it just ends like that? Dang, man, that did not have a good ending at all. But at least out of all the I was allergic to this and that, this was the best one, in my opinion. Like, this one actually was consistent with the allergy, how it affected their life. It wasn't the dumbest love story that we've ever heard. So, I like it. All right, we're going to check out one more video because this title actually really made me curious. It's called I Lost My Face. I'm not going to talk anymore. We're just going to press play, and we're going to see how she lost her face.
Hey, I'm Anika. And until the age of 17, I had a perfectly normal life. I was pretty, good in school, and in a happy relationship with my boyfriend Lewis. Well, at least that's what I thought.
Whoa!
Because one night,
What
everything
happened?
changed. I was on my way back home from ballet practice when a guy ran up to me and threw a bucket full of liquid on my
Aw.
face. At first, I
That
thought
is
it was
so
a prank,
scary.
but then my face started to burn more and more until I blacked out. When
That's
I woke up
disturbing.
again, everything was dark. I thought the lights were off, but something was different. My whole upper body was hurting, and when I touched my face, I couldn't feel my eyes or nose. My whole face felt like an old margarita pizza, and all I had left was my mouth to breathe through.
Why did it have to be a
I felt like I
margarita
was
pizza? You
trapped
could
in
have
a
picked any
nightmare.
flavor, any topping.
No light, no face. I wanted to cry, but I had no eyes, so instead I said, Where am I? Where am I? It was hard to speak without lips, but fortunately, my right ear still worked. So I heard my mom when she said, "You're alive. Oh, my love, what have they done to you?" She was crying and hugging me.
This is actually really
After
sad.
she calmed down, she told me that someone had thrown acid in my face, and it had burned away my eyes, my nose, and lips. So it wasn't—
Wait, why would you give her a mirror to look at her face when she doesn't have eyes? Mom, why would you do that? She clearly can't see her face in the little mirror. Why would you do that? That's just adding insult to injury. Mom, be more considerate. Bro, she gave her a mirror. That's like giving a deaf person AirPods.
My face was really gone. But why would anyone do this to me? I'd always been a very friendly girl, and even when my classmates made fun of me,
don't say it's her boyfriend,
saying I wasn't smart, I never talked back. I just don't like conflict. But my anger quickly turned to shame when my boyfriend came to my hospital bed. Even though I couldn't see, I knew how ugly I must have looked to him. He asked me, "How are you?" But it didn't even sound like he was worried about me. I could even hear a bit of disgust in his voice. It felt like he had only come to visit me because it was his duty as my boyfriend. Because after just a few minutes, he left again.
And you never came back?
I never felt so bad before. And this time, I was able to cry. I could feel that somewhere under my skin, tears were forming.
That is actually so sad.
The day the police came to visit me, they wanted me to describe what happened, and they asked if I had any enemies or if someone had threatened me. I told them I couldn't think of anyone.
Oh my god.
But 2 years earlier, one of my old classmates had threatened me, saying, "Be careful, or I'll throw acid on you."
No way she said that!
Years ago,
You're making
and
that
I never
up.
took it seriously. That girl had been jealous of me because I was in a relationship with Lewis. I knew that in my city of London, acid attacks were common within the Black and Muslim community. But I'm 100% white, and my parents are of Irish descent.
Okay.
After a month of investigation, the police found out what happened. They figured out that my old classmate who had threatened me 2 years before had an affair with my boyfriend Lewis behind my back. But because he didn't want to break up with me, she paid her cousin £200 to throw acid in my face.
Wow.
The police found the exact same acid that was thrown on me on her cousin's clothes.
The acid bottle was still there?
The police also took GPS data from his phone that showed he was
dick.
very close to me on the night of the accident. The trial went on for several months. When the cousin was asked if he wanted to apologize to me, he started crying and said he was so sorry.
That's not
but you
gonna
could
bring
hear
her
in his
face
voice
back?
that he was only acting. He came up with one excuse after the other for why he'd thrown acid on me. He even said his parents had never loved him, and he needed the £200 his cousin gave him to pay off his debts. Listening to his excuses disgusted me. And even the judge told him to shut up because no one wanted to hear his
shut up,
lies
you little
anymore.
bitch.
In the end, both of them got 20-year prison sentences.
Sweet.
But to be honest, I'm not sure if that's fair considering they've ruined my face for the rest of my life.
That's true.
And if they behave well in prison, they might get out much earlier. I recently visited my former classmate in prison, the one who had ordered the acid attack. Of course, it was weird meeting her. I had no eyes to look at her directly, so all we could do was talk. I asked why she had done it, and she explained that she had always envied my beauty. She said it broke her heart when me and Lewis became a couple, and the only way to take him away from me
A lot of people
was to
think these
destroy
stories
my
are fake,
beauty.
but I 1
At
million
last,
percent believe this one.
I asked her if she regretted what she had done, and she immediately said yes, because now she would have to spend the best years of her life inside prison. That's when I realized that some people truly only care about themselves.
Yep.
She didn't apologize or anything. She only regretted being caught for her crime. I gotta be honest. I still sometimes get angry about what happened to me. It was such a senseless crime where everybody
That's
involved
such a horrible
lost.
incident.
The hardest part is that I'll probably never find another boyfriend. After what happened to my face, my now ex-boyfriend Lewis cut off all contact with me. And I gotta admit that this hurt even more than the acid attack. But it won't stop me from living the good life. My parents recently bought me a guide dog, and to be honest, I like him even more than I liked my ex-boyfriend.
Ooh.
And even without a boyfriend, I can still get pregnant using a sperm donor and have my own kids. I just hope that in a few decades, technology will advance far enough that my doctors can fix my eyes and face again. But luckily, there are many jobs for blind people like me. Right now, I'm working as a call center agent during the day, and I've also started practicing DJing as a new hobby.
A blind DJ?
I guess all of us face
Yo, I fuck
tragedies
with
and
that.
evil in our lives.
That's pretty cool.
And even though it wasn't my fault that someone threw acid in my face, it would be my fault if I let it make me become bitter and resentful. That's why I'm not calling for retribution, but for more police and harsher punishments to prevent this senseless violence. Because right now, acid attacks here in the UK are on the rise, and some of the victims are less than 10 years old. Thank you for listening to my story, and let me know in the comments how you would deal with losing your face and becoming blind.
Okay, let's see how people in the comments would deal with losing their face and becoming blind. It burned away my eyes, nose, and lips. Mother gives her a mirror. That's what I just said earlier in the video. I said that. Her has no eyes. Her mom gives her a mirror. My joke to you. Everybody's saying the same thing that I said. Her, I had lost my eyes. Also, her looks in the mirror and cries. The comments are the best part of these videos. Hey, but real talk though, guys, that is disturbing. This acid attack stuff, that's actually very disturbing. I actually believe the whole story too. A lot of people say that these share my stories aren't real, but I actually think that this one's legit. All right, guys, but that's going to do it for this episode of reacting to these animations. If you guys want me to continue this series or you want me to react to more animations from a different channel, make sure you guys give this video one big fat like. And tell a friend today that Jay from the Kubz Scouts is that dude!